I got to throw it to my Australian people. I love to see that the people are just more awake. And everything that I'm watching in the political scene just feels like a movie. I'm bored of politics. It's all so monotonous, you know? It's like watching Game of Thrones and you see like brothers and sisters quarreling and you're like, okay, but wait, the White Walkers are coming. The people that are actually trying to end our freedoms and usher in a totalitarian state. And what bigger proof of this than what's happening right now in Australia, where there are actual calls to ban my visa. Like Candace Owens cannot travel to Australia because she is too dangerous. And so, you know, I thought, how do they sell that to the Australian people? Well, how they sold it was that they are allowed to ban people for character issues. So if you don't have a good enough caliber of character, then the government can ban you. And so I said to myself, wow, that's, listen, I'm a person that respects the law of the land wherever I travel. I've never been in trouble traveling overseas. I've never been in trouble here in America. Like maybe I'm going to have to respect that if that is their legitimate process. And it's interesting because then I decided to just look up some people that were going to Australia this year, who were selling out, you know, stadiums and who were going to perform and who were also touring just like Candace Owens. And surely these people must have the kind of character that Australian government and the media members love and that they adore, because I haven't heard any calls to ban them. So here is who's performing. In the event that I get banned, I want you to know who you are allowed to go listen to. And first up, by the way, is Busta Rhymes. I haven't heard his name in a while. Back in 2015, he was charged with felony assault on suspicion of throwing a cardboard cup and a health shake at the head of a Steel Gym employee. He pled guilty to non-criminal harassment charges. Back in 2000, by the way, he was sentenced to 5 years probation. And that was because he pleaded guilty again to a gun possession charge. Also coming up is rapper 21 Savage. In 2014, Savage was convicted of felony drug charges in Fulton County, Georgia. In June of 2018, he was involved in another controversy when he pulled out a firearm at the pool party, and he was arrested in 2019 by the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. He was arrested by ICE in a targeted operation. He was charged with 1 count of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and 1 count of possession of a gun, which, by the way, like whatever, I guess he's got good character to be able to perform in Australia. Lil Wayne had performed in the past, and obviously we know that he spent 8 months in prison for a criminal gun possession case. But the best part is that Lil Wayne, when he actually did perform in Australia, because they didn't care about that, they didn't care about any of his criminal history, they did allow him to perform in 2018. And when he was on stage, someone threw a drink at him, and he kind of sort of maybe threatened to shoot the whole crowd while he was in Australia. Take a listen.
So let me let you know, where I'm from, I think y'all know that's the States. We don't throw on stage because all my got pistols and they don't know who to shoot at.
Wasn't banned before, was not banned after. Travis Scott will be there. He'll be there in Sydney in October. Now, Travis Scott was arrested in June of this year at 2 o'clock in the morning on charges of trespassing and disorderly intoxication. But his lawyer did get those charges dropped. But then he got arrested again in France last month, in August. And the Paris prosecutor's office said in a statement, I can confirm that on August 9th, 2024, police officers were called to the George Cinq Hotel and arrested a rapper nicknamed Travis Scott for assaulting a security guard. Flavor Flav, yeah, he's also gonna be in Australia performing. I can't lie, I cannot lie. I enjoyed watching his show, Flavor of Love, when I was just a young tot. And his background's incredible because in 1991, he pled guilty to assaulting his girlfriend, Karen Ross. He served 30 days in jail. In 93, he was charged with attempted murder, but the charges were reduced and he was convicted for 4th-degree weapon possession and went to prison for 90 days. But in 2021, he was arrested again in Nevada on a misdemeanor charge of domestic battery. Might have popped someone again, but that charge was eventually dropped and the rapper pleaded no contest to 1 count of coercion. Shockingly, guys, go see Flavor Flav in Australia. He has passed the character test. And so has rapper G-Eazy. G-Eazy, guess what happened to him? In May of 2018, G-Eazy was arrested overseas in Stockholm, Sweden. I don't know, like if I was the Australian government, I'd be like, hey, like you got in trouble traveling to a foreign country. And this time it was for suspicion of assault and possession and use of drugs after he allegedly punched a security guard. Why is everybody punching their security guards? And then they found that he had cocaine in his pockets and he pled guilty to violent resistance, drug possession, and assault against an official in court on May 4th. But man, oh man, you guys, you're not going to believe it. He ain't banned from Australia either. He's not. Nobody has come out in the government and said, I'm looking for his application so I can deny it because I don't like his character. But me, Candace Owens, what did I do? Well, I upset the Zionist Federation. And they made a call for my visa to be banned on the basis that they don't like me. Take a listen to what Andrew Bolt had to say about me.
Here we go again, calls to ban yet another commentator from coming here and poisoning the minds of impressionable Australians. This time, new Immigration Minister Tony Burke says he's considering banning American commentator Candace Owens from touring Australia next month, giving speeches. She's also going to New Zealand. Now, Owens is huge on the internet. She has more than 5 million followers on Instagram alone. Billed as a fearless conservative. Well, she's not actually conservative, she's a total kook, and Jewish groups want her banned for alleged anti-Semitism. Owens is a sick woman, and it shocks me that Australians are paying $95 a head.
So that's what he came up with. Andrew Bolt sat around with a team of producers, and they were like, hey, so we had Candace booked to be on Sky News. They did. I was booked to be on there that exact same day. We canceled her because obviously if she came on, she would be able to defend herself and people would realize that we are actually the kooks. So what should we cook up? And someone in there was like, poisonously ignorant. Oh yeah, that's good. Let's run that. They actually have that there at the bottom. She's poisonously ignorant. And that, my friends, is the reason the Australian government wants my visa denied. What does that sound like to you? Well, I can tell you what, the Australian people responded and they were not with it. I love this. You got to go over to his Facebook page because it's exceptional. Just like actually look up on Facebook, Candace Owens, Andrew Bolt, every single comment trashing him. This person writes, I did like your show, but you are barking up the wrong tree here. I would prefer to listen to Candace than Bolt. You just ticked off a large section of your audience. I don't agree with you on this, Andrew Bolt. I think we need more people like Candace Owens. Steve writes, does Andrew Bolt also advocate for a ministry of truth? Candace Owens speaks truth backed up with facts. History is full of uncomfortable truths. Surely, Andrew doesn't want to erase historical facts that make him uncomfortable, does he? Here's an idea. Andrew should talk to Candace. You know, he should engage in actual dialogue with the person he disagrees with before slandering them by calling them an anti-Semite. Thank you, Steve. Shorn writes, she is fantastic. A few people are having their feathers ruffled because of her comments about Israel. But hey, this is Australia, not Israel, the US, or Europe, and she can say what she wants. She, as a Christian, is standing up for her beliefs and shooting down the stupid idea that we cannot criticize Israel and their policies. I mean, this really sucks because he tried so hard and people know exactly what this is about. It's one post from the Zionist Federation, which is the reason why you have now been sent marching orders to pretend that a podcaster, mother of three Catholic, is a villain who shouldn't be allowed into the country. The headlines have lost their power. And so what you really see when you see him sound so bitter and sound so angry is, I can't believe they're spending $95 a ticket. Oh, I can't believe. Instead of buying a ticket to see some of these rappers, then you can believe it. That's totally fine with you. Has Andrew Bolt, can somebody research, has he done a single segment looking into any of the performers that are being allowed into the country? My best guess is no, which is even more amazing, right? Because he's super upset that a Black woman is coming to speak about how she came from nothing and made something out of herself and believes in conservative principles and believes in free market capitalism. That version of a Black person is like, no, that can't happen. But rappers speaking about guns, having a few charges, talking about drugs, talking about sleeping with people, thumbs up from the media. Yeah. The poison is me. I just want to be clear. So thank you, Andrew Bolt, for embarrassing yourself. And what will happen now, who knows? Maybe I do get my visa banned from Australia, but it will have, just like with the Tucker Carlson thing, the opposite desired effect. People are going to start to wake up and wonder who the heck is making these decisions. How does it take one call from the Zionist Federation of Australia to make it so that a mother of three can't come in to speak? Who's really in charge here? Because clearly you are not reflecting the views of the people of Australia.